So I have this Laurent Special competition road bike, like from the, looks like from the early 80s. Nice bike with really cool parts on it. Campagnolo shifters, Nuvo record crank, front derailleur, rear derailleur, seat post, Cinelli. It's got a Cinelli stem and bars and these really interesting Mavic brakes. The thing is, it's really strange about it. It's got a rear wheel that's got steel spokes and it looks alright actually. The spokes look in pretty good condition, as well as the hub. You can see they just need basic soap and water, and the rim is alright, but the front one is completely different. It's got really bad rusting on it. The hub is terrible and the spokes look really bad too. I don't know what's happened there. It's like the front wheel's been exposed to weather and the rear hasn't. But I was thinking, is it possible to bring this wheel back? You can see I made a start on one spoke, this one here, and then up to the rim you can see where I where I took some of the oxidation off that front rim. So can it come back and be decent? That's the question. Is it worth it? I mean, look at the state of the wall of the rim. It's awful, and some of the spokes are worse than others. But you know, if you're willing to spend 2 hours maybe of your time trying to get this thing back to some decent shape, it's possible. I'm going to see, maybe start off with the rim and then see what it looks like after just doing the rim. So that's about an hour's work with steel wool, very fine steel wool, and a lot of manual work to clean this rim, which does look better. You can see it's cleaned up quite a lot. Obviously it's not perfect, but it's not bad. It's a lot better than when I first saw it. But there is still that oxidation on it. I don't know if you go from this side, you can see it better. There you can see these traces here. You can't really get rid of that. It's sort of in the actual metal now itself. But that's only in certain light you can see that. So, you know, maybe in a lot of light you can just see what you have here, which is not bad coming from what it was. Now I'm going to try and do the spokes, which are the worst of all. So I'm using a wire brush here. This is a brass one, and just going over each spoke, and you have to do both sides, so there's a lot to do. Yeah. So here are the spokes which I've worked on for the last 40 minutes, and as you can see, some like this one here, I've lost their finish, and this stainless steel spokes look great when they're in good condition, but when they're like this they can look a bit sketchy, you know. But actually they're not bad. I mean, they're never going to be like they were new, and they're much better than they were on the bike a couple of hours ago. I mean, if I saw these, I wouldn't say, well, you know, that's the end of that, I wouldn't buy this bike. You know, structurally they're in okay shape. It's just, yeah, they won't look as good as they did. And what's left now is the hub, which I haven't touched at all. I don't even know what hub it is. Once it's cleaned, and I'll polish it as well and put some polish on the rim, then you'll see what it looks like all together. So here is the wheel after 2¼ hours of cleaning. It's cleaned up really well compared to what it was. The hub is a 1980 Atom hub, which is French, and as you can see, it's so much better than it was. Spokes are a bit, you know, a bit disappointing in a way that you can't get them back to where they were originally. The rim looks so much better, even though it does have some marks on it, but you can see after years of being in bad weather and just being rusting, you can still bring a wheel back and make it functional. So I wouldn't give up on it, and this one will last for another few decades if it's taken care of.